Hi guys, it's the Hawk again. So let's talk about Ramaphosa for a second. Our friend Mr. Ramaphosa. Well, I'm a little saddened by what I saw. It wasn't what we should have heard in during that speech. Let's see. Um, he talks about farmers getting assistance, but he only talks about black farmers getting assistance. What about all the white farmers going through all the drought? He only talks about one race. He doesn't talk about the entire race, and it's wrong. During the incident with the children that were killed at the school, he doesn't. He only mentions the child that died in a toilet in a rural area. He doesn't mention about those children or give condolences to the parents of those children that died. He only talks about a child that fell in a toilet in a long drop and drowned. This man he's lost his priorities. I agree that that child that drowned in the thing is also a problem. But why did he fall in a long drop? They should have decent schools by now with inside toilets. What did they do with the billions of dollars they stole from Eskom? Let's talk about and just to clarify that not only white children died at that school, but black children too, when the walkway fell on them because of incompetence and they didn't do the maintenance on that thing. They keep leaving everything, just doesn't matter, you know. This is the reason why the ANC cannot govern. Okay, so everybody's complaining about services. Soweto owes probably $1 billion in back service funds. That means every single township, I know, I worked in them. People steal electricity, they don't pay for water, and as soon as you put the electricity in the house, somebody's there to bypass the meter. You can go into any township today and you'll see it looks like spaghetti going up the pole. Going up the pole to steal electricity. That just tells you something. Let me switch my phone up before it keeps calling me again. People, you cannot get services for nothing. Somebody has to pay the people to come and give you services. It's the same as water. If people don't pay for water, there's no money to make the sewage, clean the sewage, and put it into, instead of just dumping it into the Vaal River. They don't talk about these things. He doesn't speak to the people and say, look, we can give you services, but you have to pay for the services. You can't get everything for free. In the end, it's going to be no money. He doesn't talk about this. He talks about all the good programs he's going to give the black people. The problem is, who's paying for the black people? The taxpayers. Who's the taxpayers? Mostly the minorities. The colored people, the white people, and the Indian people are paying the taxes. And when there's no white people, no Indians, and no coloreds left, and Khoisan people, where's your tax form coming from? Sales? You promise things, but you don't deliver, and you're not inclusive. He's not inclusive. I don't see that. He talks about family. How did he put it? He concentrated on family violence. Not once did he mention farm murders, the brutality, the 8 murders, the 8 attacks this week just alone, and the brutal murders of women and children as young as 2. And I keep bringing up young as 2. He did not mention these. He did not say to people, look, if you keep killing the farmers, you're going to kill yourself, because now you have no food security. You're gone. It's all gone. And as soon as you have no food, you're going to have massive inflation, and a humanitarian crisis on your hands of epic proportions. Because people are going to go north and go north and go north until there's nothing, and they hit the desert. And up in the north, the Arabs are taking the black people as slaves now and selling them. That's a fact. The business economic, business empowerment, economic empowerment thing, where they go into your business and they take your business and they make you take black partners. He talks about that, but he excludes whites. No white person can get a job in government. States there, right there, no whites allowed. No country in the world has a minority, has a what's it called, a program where the majority deny the minority any jobs. He is so messed up. You don't even know he can't figure this out. He can't figure out why Germany, America, Holland, Switzerland, and England told him to fix his problem, especially BEE. They also told him to stop with his land reform. I find that quite strange coming from England, but that's especially Theresa May. I still want the answer is why every president in South Africa has to go bow before the Queen about a week after he gets elected. So who's running our country? Here's a strange thing. We have a gentleman go forward, and after 2 decades of bribery, he gets to the point and he says, I can't do this no more. So he comes forward and he says, look, I've been bribing these politicians for years. I can't do this anymore. It's my conscience can't touch. Before it was okay. I was paying my people. I had a job. I was making money. They were making money. And I had to bribe the politicians. But when it comes to, they call them up, I want bribe packs for a barbecue, or I want you to set out, make sure that there's this party sorted out, and you have to pay for it. And there's millions and millions of rands going up. This Barbosa thing. Now the accountants claiming that it's this guy and that guy and that guy and this guy. But here's the problem. Who demanded the bribe in the first place? The politicians. What does Ramaphosa do after the letters given to him? He arrests 6 white businessmen, including the whistleblower, to shut him up. And I can guarantee you, he probably won't come out of jail. He'll probably come out like Hanekom, Andre Hanekom. They'll kill him. They wanted to shut him up. Guess whose name is on the top of that list? Mr. Jacob Zuma. Tsotsi in number 1 Tsotsi in the whole country. And why don't they put him in jail? Because he's already said, I will expose you all. That means Ramaphosa included. Mr. Ramaphosa, you're as guilty as those other men. And you shouldn't be in power. Your speech was a joke. Ladies and gentlemen, the EFF is the ANC. The banter between Ramaphosa and Malema was a setup. You can see the two of them are playing off each other. It was set up, it was staged, it was a game. Malema talks about land. Mr. President, I want the people to come out of the townships and have land. Ramaphosa says, yes, we've got lots of land. Yes, you have lots of land, Mr. Ramaphosa. 75% of the total land of South Africa is owned by the state. You don't need farms. You have it all. All the money stolen from Eskom could have gone to buy every single person, every single family in South Africa a farm. Not a farm, a house. A nice house too. Every single family could have had a nice house paid for out of the money they stole from Eskom. They don't talk about that. Schooling. He talks about black schooling. Well, on a scale of the entire world, we're number two. You guys, sorry, are number two on the whole world scale of education level. And they want to lower it to number one. Last in line. 25% to pass. 25% to pass. The United States is 75% to pass, and we're still not at the top. Does that tell you something? And the strange thing is, Malema does say some sensible things. He says if school is free, every single child needs to be at school. And no matter what, you can't be running around the street, you need to be in school. And he's right. He's also right when he says that the townships have been this way for 100 years. And he's right. Why is he right? Because all the ANC did was take over power. They did nothing else afterwards. They didn't care about the black man. They just wanted to run it to take whatever they could. They stole everything, and now there's nothing left. So they're blaming the white people. Now the black people are upset, so they don't want to fight with the leader of the ANC because they scared themselves. They blame the white people. But in fact, the townships were a mess when I was there. That was in the 80s, 70s, 60s. They were a mess then. Block houses by the thousands. Electricity was substandard. Water substandard, one tap outside the house. And it's still that way. They never did anything. They never helped them come out. So what's happening now? You're 25 years behind. 25 years behind. And if they were that good, you would have been 25 years ahead, and you wouldn't have had these problems. 75% of South Africa's foreign investment is those 5 countries. And they're about to walk away. Ramaphosa told President Trump to stay out of our business. What do you know about our country? He knows a lot, my friend. I can guarantee you there's not a road in your country that they don't have a satellite picture of. I can guarantee you every single telephone in your country is already listened to. I can tell you that they know what you had for breakfast. I can guarantee it. They know a lot about your country because the internet is spewing everything you do. So he talks about disadvantaged schools, but the problem with schooling is if you don't have a higher education and higher expectations, you're going to fall apart. I asked this question: who burns things down and who builds things? And this needs to be the motto of everybody. An uneducated person will burn things down, and an educated person will build them up. And you cannot explain anything to an uneducated person because he doesn't believe you. He believes the fool, like Malema. He believes, and this is what I can't find ironic. Malema is talking about, let's build houses, let's build this, let's build clinics. We need clinics and we need houses. I agree, totally agree. I also agree that you need to get out of the townships. I totally agree. Get out of the townships, get out. Get them out of that mindset of not being able to be better people. Teach a man to fish. Mr. Ramaphosa, you want to build schools, but you build schools for everybody, not just black people. You build schools for every single person in your country, not just black people. Every child born in that country is an African. Africa is not a color. And I'll explain this to you as well. During the early 1600s, when Van Riebeeck and his crew came there, they left workers there. Not settlers, workers. Workers who had families, who were born in that land. And after a while, there became a whole tribe of white people. And when the Dutch abandoned them and the English came, they did not want to belong to the English. They moved north. And there was nobody there. In the 1800s, the blacks came down from the north. And the conflict started. But the Zulus made deals with the whites, and so on and so on. And in the end, you built mines, and you built roads, and you built schools, and you built infrastructure. And yes, there was a big war between the British and the Dutch. And when it was all over, the British gave the land back to the Dutch and told them, you run it now. But they had already set up, the British already set up apartheid. The problem is, we cannot look in the past no more. Every single person, every single child, no matter of color, is an African, born in their country, even today. There is white, black, Indian, colored, every color in the nation is born there are South Africans. So your rhetoric doesn't matter. To just get a vote is irresponsible when you talk about the white man or the Boer. One bullet, one Boer, Mr. Ramaphosa. Do you honestly believe, and I'm in America, do you honestly believe the American government didn't hear what you said on TV? He was given 5 countries gave him a letter telling him, knock it off. And he doesn't heed what is going on. If in the next month this rhetoric continues and they cross a line, a horrible line, and I pray to God that this is not the truth, there will be something that will not be able to stop. I'm calling on all political parties in South Africa to postpone the upcoming elections in May for a number of reasons. One, they have not addressed the corruption of the politicians in the ANC. They have not addressed that every mayor in the country needs to account for the money. Where did it go? They have not accounted for the loss of Eskom. These things need to be addressed before the election. Secondly, the EFF and the BLF need to be disbanded. They have violated all the IEC rules, and so has the ANC on this corruption thing. And the IEC, I call you out, internationally call you out as liars and working for the ANC government, and you are corrupt in every form and way. You are not dealing with the problem. You have not stated, you have not dealt with the fact that Andile, my mama, went out on a platform, dancing in the street, screaming, go and kill the white women and children and their pets. Right there, he should have been arrested and put in jail and charged for racism. The EFF took a mannequin, a white woman mannequin, drew all kinds of disgusting things on the woman's body as an emblem to white people and white women, and thought that was okay. The constant rhetoric about taking land is irresponsible and it's killing people. That's a crime against humanity. And Mr. Ramaphosa's speech itself can be used as evidence for crimes against humanity because he excluded all white people. No services can be paid or given to any nation if there's no money. Just look at Zimbabwe. Take. And what do? In the end, there's no money. So they increase the gasoline price to ridiculous amounts of money because they can't live at that high level anymore. That needs to be stopped. So in the next few days, there'll be a very good meeting, a meeting that, please, all of you, pray that this works. All I can tell you is it's going to be a very, very important meeting. And if it goes well, I actually see hope for South Africa. So another thing is the African Liberty Charter is going to come out. And if the parties don't sign this African Liberty Charter, don't vote for them. It's a code. It's a code to live by. I understand and don't get me wrong, I understand a lot of you are asking me to support the breakaway of the Cape. A lot of you are asking me to join your parties or support your parties or do whatever. I can't, because I support all of you. And I don't want to be stuck in that. I do not want to be stuck in a bucket that I can't climb out of. Like the boiling water, I don't want to be there. I want to be the voice of reason, of logic, of peace. War? I've been in war. I've seen it. I've seen my friends die next to me. I've seen the mess of war. And it's easy for somebody to stand up there and say he's brave till the bullets start flying and the bombs start going off and the mortars fly and the rockets fly and the planes come overhead and the drones and all the other stuff they don't know anything about. Never seen it before, but it's also easy to talk. And I call on all you Tutsis that think you're brave, that you can go to a house with your gun and you can beat up women, old women, and rape children and beat people with the gun in their face. You're not brave. You're a coward. I call you out as cowards, all of you. Ramaphosa, you're a coward. You didn't even stand up for your people. You hide behind your politics. You're not dealing with the problems that you have created. I blame the entire ANC for 25 years of going backwards instead of forwards. If they were that good, you should be 25 years ahead. Now, I want you to understand something. They want to borrow money from Europe. The same colonialists they're telling us that are horrible people, white people. But he's in Europe begging for money, on hand and knee. I need investments. From the same white people he hates back in his own country. Do you honestly believe they're going to lend you money? Why didn't he talk about co-op farming? Why didn't he talk about, trade schools so that you can educate your people to do trades and make money, create business, and move this forward throughout Africa? Nothing, not even vision. There's no vision. It's just excuses and I'm going to do something, and he's not done a thing, not in 25 years. And then afterwards, after this parliamentary thing, he allows the EFF to attack one of the security guards. I don't care if he's white or black. The man never got arrested for the crime. Nobody said anything. But it's okay. And the reason they attacked the guy is he was white. These same EFF Tutsis, they're criminals. Do you people honestly believe that you're voting for these people and you're going to have these criminals running your country? Don't look at me as a white man. Listen to my voice. Listen to what I'm saying. Look at the logic. To all the people in Mlazi, I know Mlazi from A to Z. People in Lamontville, I know you. People in Claremont, I know you. People in Kwamashu, I know you. Natabankulu, Kusunduzwayo, I know you. Bogatwini, everywhere. I was all over those townships. I saw what you had to live by, how you lived. I built the power lines that were in Kusunduzwayo, 25 kilometers across the mountain, down the mountains to the last house by the river. Why? You didn't have electricity. I was happy to give you electricity. In those townships, people live in block houses, little brick houses. They've been living like that for years. Of course, they want to live better. But Malema, why do you say stuff like that and then say kill the white man? And you think that the foreign investors are going to come and help you. You can't think like that. And why aren't you telling your people to pay for services? If they want services, they have to pay for them. Nobody's explaining to the people on the ground, the simple folk, what's really going on. And the white people are all just stuck in there hoping that this is going to go away. It's not going away. It's not going away. People, you need to stand up. Ramaphosa didn't say anything that we haven't heard before. And people, please, don't keep telling me what I don't already know. Tell me what I want to know. Tell me something different. Tell me news, something that's good, something that's better than this. We got to realize, I hear every day what's wrong. I know what's wrong. It's the ANC themselves. To the people in the Cape that want to break away, if that's what you want to do, fine. But right now, you got to get rid of the ANC. You have to get rid of the ANC. I'm aware that there's paperwork going out right now to secede. And legally, they probably have a case to secede. Is that fair on everybody else? I'm not sure. But it's got nothing to do with me. It's not my business. It's your business, your decisions. I'm not my brother's keeper. And God gave you all free will to make a decision. And the decision is, do you vote for the people that are going to help you or cheat you? I call on all moderate blacks, all black people. Think about what I'm saying. For 25 years, the ANC should be 25 years ahead. Are you still in the township with no services? Yes. Did the Tutsis take your money? Yes. Did the bribery go every day? You got to go bribe somebody, the police, the people at the store, everywhere. Everywhere you go, you have to bribe somebody. During apartheid, was it better or worse than you are now? I think you were better off then. And I'm not saying vote for white people. I'm not saying vote for black people. I'm saying vote for a party that's going to give you the right thing. And if they don't sign this Liberty Charter, they're not doing the right thing. And I'll tell you why. Because they're all there for themselves. They want to put the money in their pocket. They want you to live in their nice house. Drive that nice BMW. Well, where does the BMW come from? Europe, from the white people. They make that nice BMW. And the Chinese, all these agreements that they did, it's for them. It's not for you. Have they decided that when they build this nice big town that you can go live in those nice new apartments and have nice electricity and water like they're going to have? No, it's only for them. And the mining, If you don't have electricity, the mines will collapse. You have no mining. You used to be the biggest producer of gold in the world. And the mines are collapsing because the electricity keeps breaking down. Who sold the electricity? The Guptas and the Ramaphosos. And now Ramaphosa's son-in-law is going to buy Eskom. How? Eskom shouldn't belong to the Ramaphosas. It should belong to the South African people. They should sell shares for everybody to buy. Then everybody owns Eskom. And they can't make stupid decisions because it comes to the shareholders. And the people that go and then work there as the CEO should only be getting 10,000 Rand a month. Otherwise, he's not doing his job. Or 50,000, whatever it is that the CEO normally gets. But not millions and billions. He's not telling you what you want to hear. Listen, Mr. Ramaphosa, South Africa is not a color. It's a continent. And in that continent is many colors and many people, and they're all white, black, pink, and yellow. And you did not talk about them. You talked about yourself. And you and your little friend Malema over there, we all know he belongs to the ANC. We all know about it. We know that he and the Absa Bank are paying you both through the British government. We know what's going on. And the BLF, that's also part of the game. And you watch just before the end, it'll all disband and they're going to say, hey, we're going to join the ANC. And the DA, come on. You really think we're that stupid? To all the white people in the DA, I suggest that you go join another party. You're either in with these ANC people or you're not. Prove to us that you're not. Guys, pray. Wednesday. It's going to be a big day. And soon I will give you an answer to your biggest problem before May. What to do. As for USAC, I'm making it into a non-profit organization to raise funds to get investments into South Africa. Once this is all settled down, Tammy and I are going to put this together with some other people, and we've got other people joining us now, and we are going to make it into a non-profit organization to raise massive investments for South Africa, to help the farmers, and to help get infrastructure in. It's maybe trade schools even, just to get this going. But it's going to take time. Don't push us because we got enough on our hands and we're still working on this other thing. So, guys, good luck out there and more to come. More to come. Take care. I'm out of here.